Republicans? Lovers of national security? I lost any delusions that Republicans love national security after we learned that top officials in the previous Bush-Cheney administration deliberately blew the cover of covert CIA agent Valerie Plame Wilson back in July 2003, a covert CIA officer charged with protecting U.S. citizens from any of our nation's enemies, especially in the Middle East. This case involved nuclear, biological, and chemical weapons of mass destruction. In fact, the entire 8 years of the most criminal and most corrupt Republican administration in American history included one assault after another on our nation's national security. The Bush administration blew off the extensive warning signs before the 9/11 attacks. They let Osama bin Laden escape at Tora Bora in Afghanistan. I mean, come on, what would they say if the bin Laden family were close personal friends of mine? And by shifting U.S. military assets away from Afghanistan to prepare for the attack on Iraq, they started another unfunded, illegal war. They got busy passing unfunded, budget-busting, deficit-exploding tax cuts for the wealthy. And somehow they are blaming me for that. The outsourcing U.S. jobs overseas has been going on for over 30 years and relentlessly attacking the American middle class and labor unions, allowing Enron and its raping of West Coast utility ratepayers in 2001. How do you think Arnold became governor? Watch the movie Enron, The Smartest Guys in the Room. You'll understand a lot more of what is happening today. And if that wasn't enough, they made sure that local and state consumer protection laws were destroyed so that Wall Street firms and mortgage bankers could fraudulently pad their subprime mortgage loan portfolios and spin these off into fraudulent derivatives packages, which these Wall Street firms could then resell to unsuspecting investors around the world, commonly called marks in conservative Wall Street criminal circles, almost collapsing the U.S. and world economies in 2008. So, let's count up the offenses against our national security under the Republicans. Oops, there are just too many to count. And certain criminally insane, unpatriotic, faith-based rapture-awaiting Republicans are still at it, still blocking the START treaty, always finding time for their continued attacks on America's working families, not to mention overturning a century of legal precedents with the Citizens United fiasco. And after all that, they are still pushing for the Bush-era tax cuts for the wealthy to be extended, further exploding federal budget deficits for decades to come. And finally, they deny the reality of global warming while doing everything they can to facilitate a nuclear winter. Republicans, lovers of national security? I don't think so, not in my book.